First and foremost, why did you do this? What made you want to compete in Miss Kentucky USA?
That's the golden question, and my mom still questions it every single day. So I've been thinking about it since I was about 15 when a girl from my high school won the teen title, and she was everything to me. She was smart, she was beautiful, she was involved in everything from cross country to band and musicals. And so Brittany Reed was accomplished, and I wanted to be exactly like her, but I waited until I had my big girl job because that's when I could afford it. So I waited until I started in October 2020, signed up in December 2020.
What are you judged on? Just kind of like run anyone that doesn't understand Miss Kentucky USA. What is that pageant like?
I think the prep is probably one of the biggest things that you're going to go through. It's intensive. It's a lot of work. But then the pageant itself is, so you have an interview with a panel of judges, and then you have opening number, which you're not scored on, but then you have evening gown and swimsuit. And then that's preliminary competition, and then they cut it down to a top 15. They go through that whole process again of swimsuit, evening gown, then it gets cut to a top 5. And then top 5 does onstage question, which is where everyone sees. The girls start to panic, and you're thinking, oh goodness, is she going to answer this correctly? And then a winner's crowned.
So you said you wanted to wait until you got your big girl job.
Yes.
I feel like that's got to be really tough, though. I mean, you have friends. You just graduated from college. You've got your big girl job. Your family doesn't necessarily live here, so if you want to go see them, you've got to travel. And then all on top of it, you're saying, yes, I want to compete for this. So how do you balance everything?
It's hard. Anyone who I work with, you know it's hard. You see me struggle to do both. But I have to say WHS has been amazing and supportive. But it's taught me a lot of time management. It's taught me just diligence and also the importance of taking care of yourself and having those moments to yourself, self-rest. And Sundays are my days. But other than that, I would say it's been hard.
Mm-hmm. How do you choose what the priority is? Do you set, like, this is my number one priority across the board, or does it change day to day, week to week?
I think it changes solely because my job is what pays the bills. So that needs to be the most important, but then I also have a responsibility for Kentucky. And so what I've done is Monday through Fridays are work, and then the weekends are set for Miss Kentucky USA. Obviously, there's been some overlap with events that I couldn't have gone to over the weekend, but it's been mostly, the focus has been work.
Mm-hmm. What does your day-to-day look like? Everyone was asking about your workout routine. Everyone wants to know when you're working out, what you're eating.
My goodness.
Just what does your day-to-day look like?
It starts at 5. I wake up at 5, and then I journal a little bit, and then I go to the gym, do an hour and a half workout, and then I do my stretches, get breakfast, get ready for work, hop on that 9:30 editorial meeting. 9:30 to 6:30 is work, and then depending on the day, I'll have something for Miss Kentucky. It's either interview prep, it's either going to another workout, or going to walking training. So I would say my days usually end around 9:30, 10 work days technically, and then I'm done. Don't talk to anybody. I just go to bed and hit the hay, honestly.
That's funny. Someone asked, what makes you stand out against this field of all of these other contestants? I know that you've had a chance to meet them. Some of them you've hung out with more than others, just regionally and stuff like that. But what sets you apart? And I know that's a tough question because I'm sure, you know, everyone loves you. You're a great person. You're a great friend. So it's kind of hard to look at other people and say, I want to beat you. But how does that work?
It is hard. But one of the things that I love about the Miss USA organization is everyone is incredible. So like you said, everyone's accomplished, everyone's incredible. But I'm going to say my communication skills because of work. This job has taught me so much. I can talk to anyone. And I think that's what really sets me apart because a Miss USA, her job is to connect with people. She should be able to speak with a 3-year-old. She should be able to speak with a 90-year-old veteran or the CEO of a business. And we do that every single day at work. You're speaking to a wide range of personalities and meeting different people with different perspectives. And so I think that's the big thing that I take from work and then translate it to Miss Kentucky USA, which I hope I can translate to Miss USA.
It's interesting that you kind of like pulled on our job and our profession as journalists because I think sometimes it can be a stark contrast what you do to prepare for a pageant and what you do when you're competing in the pageant versus day-to-day journalistically. I know there's a lot in common, like you said, with communication. How do you hold on to your journalistic integrity when you have to strut your stuff in a bikini in front of a crowd of people?
You know, there's always going to be people that think that pageants exploit people, that they only show brainless beauties. We've all heard those things. But do you guys remember the trend a couple of years ago when the doctors were in their bikinis and they were saying, you know, just because I post in a bikini doesn't mean I'm not educated, that I'm not smart, that I can't be professional. It's the same exact thing. When I'm walking in a swimsuit, I'm showing the hard work, and I mean hard work that I do every single day to have a healthy body, a healthy lifestyle. And so I would disagree with anyone who says, you know, you can't be professional and then also wear a swimsuit.
Mm-hmm. I know with the preparation and getting ready and everything too, there is a lot of stuff that you have to do in the community with certain businesses that can be tough journalistically when you're supposed to always be unbiased. How do you kind of balance those things out with, you know, going to certain events or not being able to make certain events, or saying, even when it comes to sponsorships, I'm sure that a lot of people are interested kind of in how that has all played out.
You know, it's a conversation that I had to have with our management beforehand, because sponsorships not only are beneficial for personal and Miss Kentucky reasons, but they help us get to that national stage. So I got a sponsor for my dress. I couldn't have afforded my dress, but thankfully my sponsor's in Ohio, so I didn't have to worry about that. But most of my sponsors are not in our viewing area. If you've realized, they're outside of our viewing area, which I appreciate. But it's something that you have to do if you're competing in a pageant.
Mm-hmm. So we've talked a little bit about how we had our first Black Miss Kentucky USA in 2010.
Yes.
How important is it, do you think, representation-wise, for you to be on that stage with those people?
Representation is everything, and I think I represent so many different things. So you see me, you see a Black woman, then you see the curly hair, and then you look a little bit deeper, you see a journalist, and then you see all these different things that really make up who I am as a person. But we all know just how powerful representation is. I think when I saw Chesley win Miss USA, she wore her natural hair, which I don't think people realize how big that is for me, because I've had such a treacherous hair journey over the years. And so seeing someone who's confident in herself and confident in her abilities, and just seeing a Black woman who knows exactly what her strengths are, her weaknesses, it's a powerful thing.
Mm-hmm. How big is social media in a competition like this? I know that you went through the different categories. Obviously, social media is not one of them, but how important is social media in what you're doing?
It's never scored, but I would say it's pretty important, because they want someone who can talk to your fan base and talk to your supporters. Because if you think about it, Miss USA is just a huge platform. You immediately gain all these followers. You're able to use the platform to talk about things that are important to you. And so it's a huge thing, but they won't outwardly say it, I'll admit.
Mm-hmm. 66% of people under the age of 18, and then 61% of people over the age of 18 feel negative or very negative about their bodies. Do you think that pageants and competition, where you're wearing swimsuits and where you are being judged on things like that, help or hurt that? And then what would you say to people that are struggling with that in their lives?
You know, one thing that I will say is everyone has their own insecurities, no matter if you are walking across the stage. No one's 100% confident. I would be lying and I would be remiss to say that, but I will say that pageantry needs to take a step forward. We are not inclusive to all body types. I think we've made moves to be more inclusive to all ethnicities and races, but body types, if you look at the Miss USA stage on November 29th, we more or less all look the same. We're all going to be tall, skinny girls. Let's be honest. Have we all worked there to get our bodies like that? Yes. But I think a Miss USA, if we really want to be representative of the United States and of women as a whole, we've got to be more inclusive to all body types.
And then what would you say to women that are scrolling on social media or who are watching that day and who look at you and say, maybe have like a ping of, I should be doing more, I should be doing better, I should be doing this, I should be doing that. What message do you send to them?
Social media is not real. Social media is not real. It's a highlight reel. I have my bad days. Trust me, I have my bad days more than I'd like to admit. But, you know, I would say to them, look in the mirror and just say that you are beautiful, you are worthy, and you have all of the qualities that you need, and you shouldn't compare yourself to anyone else you see on a screen or anyone else you see on that stage, because there's only one you, let's be honest, and you're pretty cool.
And then what happens if you win? What happens from there? Prep-wise and
craziness. So the winner will be crowned on November 29th. They have 24 hours to get their booster shot and then do media appearances on the 30th. And then they fly to Israel to compete at Miss Universe for about 2 weeks.
is right then and there.
Right then and there. So they are crowning someone that is Miss Universe ready, which is a little intimidating because you will go from Miss USA, which is a huge national pageant, to Miss Universe, which is the biggest pageant in the whole entire world, and compete against over 70 delegates from all over the world. And so that winner will then, if she wins Miss Universe, she goes to New York. And then if she doesn't, Miss USA will go to LA and is a contracted worker for the Miss USA organization for the year.
Mm-hmm. What passions have you found either before you started competing or through competing, especially as they tie back to Kentucky, that you feel proud of and that you feel need a little more work?
In regards to my platform's National Cervical Cancer Coalition. And so I'm the Louisville chapter leader here, and my whole thing this whole year has been to educate and prevent in regards to cervical cancer. Thankfully, I just saw a statistic the other day that 87% of cervical cancers have been prevented because of the HPV vaccine, which is a huge, huge breakthrough. But that's something that I've been passionate about over the past 6 months. Goodness, when was I crowned? 6 months ago? And then Kentucky, I think Kentucky education is one of the things that we're lacking on. We rank the lowest in regards to other states. We don't rank the lowest, but we're on the low end in regards to education. I think that's something that we can work on.
Mm-hmm. What happens to the Elle Smith that we all know and love in Kentucky if you win Miss Universe? What are you going to put on the platform of Miss Universe?
Miss Universe, I think I would take the National Cervical Cancer Coalition and take it worldwide. It's a conversation that's important. In the United States, cervical cancer is on the decline because we have access to medicine and we are talking about these things and we have access to the HPV vaccine, but that's not true for other countries around the world. And I think just education and bringing that to the platform in Miss Universe is something that I would be passionate about.
Mm-hmm. Do you think your life will ever go back to just being Elle Smith, reporter at WAJS 11?
No, I don't, because I can still remember meeting former title holders years after they had won, and I still think and look at them and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, that's Miss Kentucky, that's Miss Ohio. So this is a legacy that I will take with me, regardless if I win Miss USA. Being Miss Kentucky has been the biggest honor of my life thus far. Just traveling the state and meeting the people of Kentucky, it's something that I will treasure. It's been, honestly, the best experience.
Still in the competition is Kentucky.
There we go. Okay, first up, ladies, what is your most important core value? Take it away, dive in there.
Honesty. I appreciate it in myself. I appreciate it in my friendships and with my family. When you're honest with yourself, when you surround yourself with people who are honest with you, you can propel into different situations, and I appreciate that.
Well said. Check. All right, Kentucky.
I have judge number 2.
Good call. Sustainability is becoming more and more important in professional landscapes. How can we encourage business to be more environmentally conscious?
I think we've got to look at it from a macro level and also a micro to green energy. I think that's something that we can all agree on. But then at the micro level, we all know how to reduce, reuse, recycle, and those are things that we can implement in our daily lives.
Oh. She said micro and macro. All of you, Miss USA 2021 is Kentucky.